All right, let's dive into Axon Enterprise today. Most people, they hear Axon, they think TASER, that iconic device. But wow, the story here is this incredible transformation. They've really become the tech platform for public safety globally. It's quite a pivot.
It really is. And what's fascinating, I think, is that shift, right?
Mm.
From just a single hardware product to building this whole ecosystem. You've got connected devices, sure, but also cloud software, AI.
Yeah.
It all works together. So our mission here is really to unpack that strategy. How did they pivot? How does this public safety operating system actually function? And crucially, just how big is the market they're going after? It's massive.
And you're going to see how that shift directly fueled some, frankly, amazing growth. We're talking, 3 years running? Over 30% revenue growth each year?
Pretty staggering numbers.
So where did it all start? Takes us back to 93. Rick Smith, founder, spurred by personal tragedy, building on that original TASER tech from Jack Cover back in the, late 60s, early 70s. For ages, they were TASER International. Just that one thing.
But they saw something more, didn't they? Even back in 2008, you started to see the signs.
Right. That was the Axon Pro body camera launch, and then evidence.com, the cloud platform, in 2009.
Exactly. That was the little seed, the start of the software future, planted well before it became obvious to the market.
Okay, fast forward to 2017. Big moment. The rebrand to Axon Enterprise. What was really going on there? Because it feels like much more than just, slapping a new name on the door.
Oh, absolutely. It was strategic. A real masterstroke, actually. Think about it. By 2016, the Axon side cameras software, it was just exploding, like 153% growth. Meanwhile, the TASER device sales grew, sure, but only 24%. The TASER brand itself, it had become, kind of polarizing.
Ah, right.
And that actually made it harder to hire top tech people. So changing the name let them redefine themselves, become this public safety operating system. And it let them really lean into that razor and blades model, sometimes practically giving away cameras to lock agencies into that sticky, high-margin software.
Yeah.
It's about embedding themselves.
Becoming the essential backbone. Okay, so this operating system, what are the pieces? Starts with the devices, I assume.
It does, yeah. You've got the TASER 10, the latest version, which is getting picked up super fast. And they're working on the Apollo cartridge for it, which they think could replace lethal force in up to 40% of certain police shootings. That's huge.
Wow.
Beyond that, there's the Axon Body 4 camera, the Fleet 3 system for cars, which now does license plate reading too. They're even in drones now with Axon Air and Skydio. Oh, and counter-drone tech too, through acquiring Didrone.
So a whole suite of hardware collecting data.
Precisely. And all that data flows into the software layer. That's the central nervous system, really.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, the foundation is Axon Evidence. That's the digital evidence management system. But then they layer on these high-value AI tools. Like Draft One, it's their fastest adopted software ever. It basically writes draft police reports from body cam audio, cutting report times sometimes by half or even more.
That's a big efficiency gain.
Huge. Then there's Axon Assistant, real-time translation features. In real-time operations, that's Axon Respond, plus the Fusus acquisition. Think cloud-based command center, pulling in feeds from everywhere. And Axon Records helps manage the whole workflow.
It sounds incredibly integrated. That must create a powerful lock-in, a strong competitive moat.
Totally. It's that flywheel effect, right? Capture data with devices, centralize it in the cloud, analyze it with the AI, which then drives more demand for the whole system. Switching costs become really, really high, and the numbers back it up. They're cloud software. Over $1 billion in annual recurring revenue. That's stable, predictable income.
$1 billion ARR. Wow.
And get this. Their net revenue retention is 123%. That means their existing customers are spending 23% more each year on average. They're not just staying, they're buying more. That's world-class.
Incredible stickiness. And the overall market they're playing in, it's not small, is it?
Small. No, management estimates the total addressable market at a staggering $129 billion.
It's $129 billion.
Yep. And their current revenue. It's less than 2% of that. So the runway is just enormous, huge growth areas internationally. That's like a $32 billion TAM. Enterprise security, another $23 billion. AI solutions, $17 billion.
And they have that stat about wallet share, right?
Yeah, they figure they get less than 1% of a typical agency's budget right now, but they see a clear path to getting maybe 3%. Still a tiny fraction, but a huge increase for them.
Plus that moonshot goal, cutting gun deaths between police and public by 50% by 2033, that's got to drive innovation.
It absolutely frames their R&D and mission. It's smart strategy tied to impact.
So with this huge opportunity and powerful ecosystem, who are they bumping up against? What's the competition look like?
The main one really is Motorola Solutions. Their approach is often different, though, more acquiring different tech pieces and bundling them, leveraging those, long-standing agency relationships, sometimes competing hard on price.
Right.
But Axon's advantage tends to be that natively built, deeply integrated system. It all just works together seamlessly because it was designed that way. And independent tests, like one from DHS, have shown Axon cameras, for instance, outperforming Motorola's. Plus, Axon is only focused on this public safety tech space. Motorola is much broader.
Makes sense. So putting it all together, Axon isn't just playing in the public safety tech market. It feels like they're actively shaping it, architecting its future.
I think that's fair to say. Which brings us to a really interesting point for you, the listener, to think about. As this kind of public safety tech gets smarter, more integrated with AI, real-time data, feeds from cameras everywhere, public and private, how does that start to shift the balance, the balance between keeping communities safe and protecting individual privacy and civil liberties? Where does that line move? Something to mull over.